Signs you're meant to be a demonologist. I know, right? Why haven't I made this video before a long freaking time ago? But let's get started because there's actually quite a few things here that really struck me last night. And I went, oh my God, I have to write about this and make a video on this. How do you know if you're a demonologist? How do you know if you're meant to be a demonologist? A lot of people actually come to me and ask me that they're so interested in the demonology field. They're really interested in the paranormal. They're interested in haunting stories, but they're not really sure if they're really meant to be a demonologist or not. Sometimes, usually, your intuition will tell you first and foremost whether or not you're really meant to be a demonologist, whether or not you're really meant to be in the field of either paranormal investigations or other kinds of paranormal professions. How do you know if you're a demonologist? How do you know if your soul is meant to be a fighter for these kinds of otherworldly entities? This is actually kind of a heavy list, so let's get started. Strong attraction to the paranormal. I know this should be actually really obvious, but apparently a lot of people don't realize that this is actually one of the biggest lead ideas, inclinations to your soul, driving you towards a topic that you're actually meant to pursue or that you're passionate about. Whether it's TV, film, paranormal books, haunted stories, whether or not you're really into haunted locations, or you've been actually experiencing, that's the second one, paranormal experiences. A lot of people that are actually meant to be in the paranormal field usually are the people that are actually more prone to paranormal experiences. This would be paranormal attacks, such as hauntings, astral attacks, paranormal experiences that you cannot explain, things that you see, things that you feel or sense, or things that you have witnessed from other people when they're around and no one else notices. Usually this is a clear indication that you're actually meant to help people with these kinds of situations that other people miss. People that are experiencing lucid dreams is another one of those part of the paranormal experiences. So if you're having lucid dreams, especially ones that are based on paranormal experiences, such as otherworldly phenomenon, you're finding yourself on the astral realm, you're finding yourself being haunted or demonized or even battling demons, this is a huge sign to be aware of. Number 3, a strong sense of justice for others. This one couldn't be more obvious, but a lot of people fail again to recognize this as a sign. People that are strong advocates for justice, whether it's justice for your friends, for relatives, for strangers, or even yourself, or even in general based on a concept that everyone should be able to have for themselves on whatever situation occurs. This is something to be very wary and aware of, because this is allowing you the opportunity to have passion to fight for other people, passion to seek justice, not revenge, but justice from the injustice situations that are going on. This is actually very important in a demonologist field. Having the desire, the drive for something to really be cleared in a fair manner. The demonologist's heart usually knows of the gift of discernment, which is another sign. The gift of discernment to know that certain things are good or certain things are bad. And this is very important in the demonologist field because they are able to recognize things without caution, without any need to read a label of a warning label to know whether or not something is cautionary, whether or not something is dangerous. In the gift of discernment, the person is able to recognize certain things about certain situations that are unknown to normal, ordinary people. Now, this isn't to say people that follow their intuition aren't still able to discern certain things in certain aspects with their gut instinct, which is what the discernment is. But the gift of discernment is incredibly higher frequency of a sense of knowing, which is the 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗪. It is a psychic ability, being able to know deep down something without even having to see evidence, to see it on people or to see it on body language, just a sense of a deep inner knowing what is wrong or what is right. This is actually a huge indicator that if you find yourself in these situations where people are telling you, how do you know that? How do you know this? This gift of knowing is being able to allow yourself, the demonologist, the potential to help people. As a demonologist, the gift of discernment is actually one of the most powerful and helpful tools in the demonology field when the person is trying to decipher and discern whether or not the person that is being haunted is actually being haunted by certain entities or an entity at all. This is incredibly important and is vital in the demonology field. Possessing the highest levels of empathy. Empathic people are actually very helpful, powerful tools when it comes to demonology field. The reason why this is because though they feel the emotions, this allows them to know what the person, the victim in the haunting experience is going through. This allows and enables the demonologist to sit in the other person's position to know how to handle it and what are the right things to say and what are the wrong things to say, especially when facing the entity itself. This also allows the person to be able to address the situation wholeheartedly, but also extremely carefully in being able to entice the demon to come forward with the ability by also speaking to the person that is either possessed or is being haunted at the same time. This is actually an intricate gift that not everyone possesses. So if you feel you are an empath, you've been told you're an empath, or you're a light worker, this is actually one of the biggest reasons why demonologists are called onto this work of field, because of this innate ability to want to help, to want to love, to want to rescue. Those who have a warrior's heart. This is actually one of my favorite signs that I've actually found deep inside myself. People that are strong and passionate deep inside in their soul, in their heart, to want to be a warrior for love, to fight for justice. This is not to say to cause war, but those that are being able to recognize when something needs to be fought for justly, and the ability to be able to withstand the obstacles that lay before them. The reason why this is so important is because demonologists literally jump in the line of fire for their victims, for their clients on a daily basis. Even I, for myself, have recognized this as a potential threat when you are being a demonologist. Being a demonologist, you literally put yourself in harm's way to help other people selflessly. A person who has a strong sense of courage. Courage does not come easy. Not for everyone. I've met many people that feel that they are meant to be in the paranormal field. This is true. But demonology comes with a strong sense of willpower in the mind mentally to be able to overcome the obstacles without falling prey to the ignorance, to the fear, and more importantly to the negative influences through the manipulation that the demons or devils or other familiar entities that will try to haunt the people that you're trying to help infect you and impact you. This is something that not every person has the ability to fight. This is a strong sense of willpower, a strong sense of mind control, and a strong sense of impressive focus that does not and will not falter no matter what happens in the line of fire, in the line of attack, in the line of paranormal activity, or in the line of possession. Because what the demonologist must recognize in these senses of impact when being faced with the unworldly evil, that every single thing you decide, every single thing you say is an effect and will cause an effect and will cause a reaction. It's just like if a burglar comes into your home, every single thing you do and say will impact what that other person does. So every single second counts. Every single decision matters. And every single thing you do will affect not just you, but those that you are to help. Their capability is not in how much knowledge they know, but it's also, more importantly, in how much they can withstand mentally. This is not a gift, this is not a skill that everyone is able to master right away. Usually old souls are able to master this, or people that have gone through very terrible ordeals, or more importantly, people with a strong sense of unshakable faith. A belief in that no matter what terrible atrocities may occur, no matter what happens to them, they are able to overcome those situations without fear of the unknown, because no matter what, they are in control. These commandments that the demonologist makes, the decisions on every single situation imaginable or unimaginable to the naked eye or to the imagination of the human, is not something that everyone is capable of achieving. I don't say this lightly. I've had many experiences not only on the astral realm, not only here in my life, but also in many other experiences in other dimensions during my time as a demonologist for only a few years. Because what most people fail to recognize is that the demonologist is not just the one to decipher whether or not the person that is being haunted is a genuine haunting and a victim of paranormal atrocities, but it is actually the demonologist that is the person that is the bodyguard for the person being haunted. Once the demonologist enters the vicinity, once the demonologist makes the conscious decision to help a victim, they immediately become haunted victims themselves. And this is something that takes great faith, love, and courage, and more importantly, an unshakable ability to fight no matter the consequences or the decisions made. Amazing amount of discipline and self-awareness of thyself. Granted, I am not even perfect. I never claim to be perfect. But what I do announce in myself at all times is when it comes to the security and the safety and the seriousness of my clients, no matter what, I take it upon myself to make sure 110% that my clients are taken care of. When a person decides to go into the field of demonology, it takes amazing amounts of self-control and self-awareness and discipline to be able to withstand the situations without freaking out. Let's just say that, because when paranormal experiences start to happen, the demonologist has to be able to get used to it. You have to just get used to it. Being used to paranormal activity, getting used to the weird things that start to happen. This isn't something that many people are able to stomach. The reason why this is so important is because if the demonologist does not have self-control and self-awareness of themselves, their mental capacity at all times, then they would fall quickly prey to the demon's hold. If you've noticed that a lot of people seem to go to you all the time, or pretty often at least, for spiritual guidance or guidance in general, based on relationships, based on where to go in their life. These kinds of situations actually partake because soulfully people are being able to pick up your resonancy, energetic vibrations with them, and they are picking up soulfully without even noticing it that you can guide them, you can help them. This is also part of the Lightworker path. So usually people that are light workers are also best fits for demonology or other paranormal professions. This is one of the reasons why it's actually highly recommended for demonologists to study with Catholic churches or other religions. Most religions have a demonologist on board, but not very many. Every religion has their own requirements for what they determine to be a successful expert at demonology. But do you need to be a part of a religion or a church or any other kind of community to be labeled as one, or to identify or to work as one? No, this is false. This is actually one of those reasons why I actually encourage people to be demonologists in their own field, in their own practice, in their own way. Because the truth is, demonology is not practiced solely in just Christianity, Catholic religion. So I hope this answers your questions for today of the signs of whether or not you are meant to be a demonologist. I hope this fills in the gaps a little bit. I did my best. If I come up with more ideas, I will definitely make another one in the future. But if you're interested learning more about demonology, I have a book on Demons and Familiars, A Contemporary Guide to Demonology, that is available on Amazon.com or BN.com on paperback. But I also have a Kindle version as well available on my website if you're interested in that too. But if you are having paranormal issues and you need help, please go to my website at lastfrontiermedium.com, where you can also request a session with me and I will help you if I can. But love, light, and blessings to you, and I will see you next time.
Perfect. Perfect.